Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabby, and today we're going to be doing not only my November TBR, but I also have the Winterween announcement in this video, as well as my upcoming plans for the book troop, my book club. There's a lot in this video, so let's just jump right into it because I'm so excited. So first things first, I want to let you know about all of my plans for Winterween. If you're new to my channel, you might not know, but Winterween is an annual readathon that I love to host in the wintertime. I usually try to host them every January, and Winterween is kind of like the companion readathon to Summerween. The only difference being that Winterween obviously happens in the winter. And the whole goal for these readathons is to bring, like the Halloween and the spooky vibes into the different seasons. Because, as a huge lover of Halloween, that is just something that I really enjoy doing. And even though Halloween is technically over, spooky season is never really over, right? So Winterween is a week-long readathon that I am planning to host once again in the month of January of 2025. The official dates for this round of Winterween, it's going to be starting on Friday, January 10th, and then going through January 16th. And I'm really excited because I love kicking off these readathons on a Friday night. I just feel like it's the perfect way to kick off a readathon. And then I also love the fact that because Winterween is like in January, it's like a fresh start, a new year. So January 10th through the 16th are the official dates, and I'm really excited to let you know that this time around I kind of do have a little bit of a theme. I mean, if you remember last Winterween, we did like the Wicked Witch kind of theme, and this round for Winterween, the theme is Haunted House. And so my sister actually designed this really beautiful logo for this round of Winterween. Look at how cute this is. Oh my gosh, it's a little haunted house with a really big orange brownish moon in the background that I'm obsessed with, and I love our little ghosty friend standing in front of the haunted house. I'm just such a fan of this logo that my sister made. It's stunning. And so because the theme of this readathon is, related to like haunted house, I kind of themed some of these prompts around that. So the first prompt for this readathon is going to be to read a book in the dark or at night. This one is kind of like the staple prompt, that I've had throughout Summerween and Winterween. It's just such a fun prompt to have for this readathon, and you can interpret this in any way you want to. Like if you want to just sit in your bed at night and read on your Kindle, you can do that. If you want to listen to an audiobook in the dark, you can do that. If you just want to read at nighttime with all of the lights still on, you can definitely do that as well. I love the idea of like curling up under the sheets at night and like using a flashlight to read the book. Like I just think it's so fun. It reminds me of like what it was like to read as a kid. And so I love this prompt. And then the second prompt for the readathon is going to be to read a horror or thriller. Literally anything thriller or horror you can get your hands on, whether it's a new release, whether it's an older book, it doesn't matter, anything goes for this. And then the third prompt is going to be to read a book with a house on the cover or in the title. And I thought this would be fun to link it back into that haunted house thing, so whether or not the book has house in the title, or maybe there's a house somewhere on the cover of the book, you could even use like if there's the word home or something similar to house, maybe like apartment or something like that, anything that could imply that it's like somewhere that you live, anything goes for something like this. But I thought that would be such a fun one because I feel like there are so many books, especially in the thriller and horror genre, that have houses on the cover. It was actually a really popular trend in thriller books that we noticed like about a year ago. The fourth prompt is going to be to read a horror book that published 5 or more years ago. So I think this would be a fun time to like try to encourage ourselves to pick up more backlist titles, reading any horror books that published 5 or more years ago. I mean, gosh, by the time it hits 2025, that's gonna be any books published before the year of 2020. Isn't it just crazy how fast these years are going by? Like, oh my goodness. And then the fifth and final prompt for this readathon is going to be to read a novella, a manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. Because I do think it's fun to, mix it up with the different kinds of books that you're reading. So if you want to read a short spooky horror novella, you can do that. If you have like a manga series that you're really into, whether or not it's a horror manga or not, anything goes for that. And then like listening to a spooky audiobook. I think spooky audiobooks are so much fun and so perfect for readathons. So those are all of the 5 prompts for this readathon, and as usual, you can double stack on these prompts if you want to. You can probably find a book that fits all 5 of the prompts. I know I'm certainly going to be looking into that and trying to figure out if there is a book out there that fits into every single one of these prompts. I do have an Instagram account for this readathon that is called This Is Summerween that I will have linked down below. And if you want to follow that Instagram, that is where I'm going to be posting a ton of like Winterween content. I'm going to be reposting everybody's Winterween TBRs. On that Instagram, I like to post book recommendations that are like, here are some books that you can read for each individual prompt. And then we're also going to be posting some Instagram daily photo challenges over there. So the Instagram is going to have a lot of information. We are going to be doing merch again for this readathon, as we usually do, because I love this logo so much and I think it looks so freaking gorgeous on a shirt. So we have this logo on a shirt, we have it available on crew necks and hoodies. We wanted to do some like earthy colors like stone gray and charcoal, heavy metal, slate blue, and heather tan. And the hoodie and the crew necks are also available in some military green, and I personally love how it looks on the military green. I think it looks so stunning. What's really cool though now is that Bonfire is also offering zip-up hoodies for like the first time ever. But as far as like the printing space goes on the zip-up hoodies, you can only print on like the little corner pocket kind of area right here. We have our little ghosty friend on the zip-up hoodies, and I think the zip-up hoodies, oh my gosh, they are so cute. And the zip-ups are available in a lot of really fun colors in my opinion. Like the heather gray I think looks really good. There's heather slate, military green, there's an autumn orange, which I think is also really fun. So I will have the link down below for our merch store on Bonfire. And Bonfire is the kind of store where it prints in batches. I think I have it set up so that every 2 weeks the campaign will end essentially, and then the orders get shipped out all together at the same time. And Bonfire is the same merch service that I've been using basically since the start of Summerween. It's the service that I use for any merch that I've ever put out because I really love Bonfire. Like the quality of their stuff is genuinely so good. I still to this day have every single merch thing that I've ever bought from Bonfire, and the quality is still amazing. And so I cannot wait to see these designs in person. I know I'm definitely gonna have to get myself one of these zip-up hoodies because they look amazing. And then if you were wondering, Rachel, my sister, is also going to be selling stickers, which is something that she's been doing lately for these readathons. These sticker packs are so adorable. All of the stickers kind of fit the vibe and like the color scheme of this readathon. There's a bunch of little ghosty stickers, like one of them's holding a little hot cocoa, and then there's one like holding a little stack of books. I think that these sticker sets are perfect for a journal or even like a reading journal if you have one. So I'll have the link down below for my sister's Etsy shop if you would like to get a sticker set. There's one where you can order the sticker set and she'll actually send them to you, or you can order a digital download and then print the stickers yourself. And then our lovely friend Alicia, who has done the bookmarks for like every single round of Summerween and Winterween, she came back with us to work with us once again to make these beautiful bookmarks for Winterween. And look at this stunning bookmark that she has designed and created. I think she absolutely nailed it with like the color palettes here. I think this looks so beautiful and so stunning. I love that on these bookmarks that she sells, she puts all of our prompts like on the bottom of the bookmark, and then she leaves space on the bookmarks that you can write in your TBR for the readathon if you choose to do so. I adore these bookmarks. We've been working with Alicia for such a long time and her bookmarks are always such high quality. So I will have her shop linked down below if you want to go and check her out and support her shop and get a bookmark. So that is all of the info for Winterween that you need to know. I am so excited for this readathon. I will be posting my own TBR for this readathon probably at the beginning of January. So moving right along to the book troop. So you might have heard that for the month of November, we are going to be reading Someone in the Attic by Andrea Mara. And this is a new release thriller that I am so excited to read because the premise sounds like it's going to be so intense. It kind of involves this like home invasion, like there was somebody like living in their attic. It says there's this woman, Anya, who's enjoying a relaxing bath when she hears a noise coming from the ceiling. Through the open bathroom door, she sees the attic hatch swing down and a masked figure drops to the floor. 30 seconds later, she's dead. And then it says we're following her friend, Julia, who's her old school friend. It says she sees an online video of a masked figure climbing out of an attic. She suddenly realizes why the footage is eerily familiar. It was filmed inside her own house. I don't know what to expect, but just reading that premise alone, it kind of gives me like full body chills. Like that is so creepy. So I'm so excited to read this one this month in November with the book troop. And for the live show, I'm very excited that I'm going to be joined by my friends Kat from Kat Chats as well as Sharni from Sharni and Books. And Kat is somebody that I've been friends with for a while now here on BookTube. I love watching her content because we share a lot of similar opinions when it comes to like new release thriller and horror books especially. And Kat has been on the book troop at least once before, but I'm so happy to have her back on. And Sharni is somebody that I have not yet had on the book troop before, but I've been a long time watcher of her and her content and I just really adore her personality. And I'm so excited to have her on the book troop as well. I think this is going to be such a fun live show and I really hope that this is something we all end up enjoying. And then for the month of December, I had my Patreon vote on one of these 3 books to be our December read. And if you were wondering, yes, these are all 3 books that I have read before, because usually in the month of December with the book troop, what I like to do is I like to have a reread of like one of my favorite books that I've read, and then I encourage my sister to be the co-host and read the book with me for the live show. And I'm so happy to let you know that my Patreon voted on Kill for Me, Kill for You. And I'm very excited about this because this is one of my favorite thrillers that I read this year, and I actually read this book back in January. I read it as an ARC copy before it even came out. It published in March. But because I read this book back in January this year, you know, my memory on this book is a little bit fuzzy, so I think it's gonna be such a fun rereading experience. And so me and my sister will be reading this for the month of December and doing a live show together. And this is the book that has the like strangers on a train kind of setup, you know, where like these 2 women meet who are complete strangers and they decide to commit murder for each other. I personally love this. I think when I read it, I gave it like 4.5 out of 5 stars. Like I loved this and I can't wait to to read it again, so hopefully if you haven't yet read this book, hopefully you can join us and read along with us in December for this one. Alright, so moving right along to the rest of my November TBR and reading plans. I do plan to read the book Eileen this month by Otessa Moshfegh. Gosh, I never know if I'm saying this author's name right, so I apologize. But this is one that I'm really looking forward to. I'm actually going to be doing a video this month on my Patreon that's going to be dedicated to reading this book, talking about spoilers, and then also watching the movie adaptation. Because if you didn't know, this book was actually recently adapted into a movie starring Anne Hathaway. And it came out like last year or the year before, and I was like, what the heck? Like, that is so cool. And because I recently read My Year of Rest and Relaxation by this author and I gave it 5 stars, I decided like this book needs to be way higher priority for me. So I am really excited this month to read this book for a Patreon exclusive video. I think it's going to be very fun. I hope that it's something that I love. And then one video that I'm planning to work on this month is just going to be a reading vlog where I read some of my most anticipated books of the whole year. That's probably going to be the first vlog that'll be going up in the month of November. And in that vlog, I am hoping to include some of these new releases like The Life Impossible by Matt Haig. Thank you so much to my friend Casey for recently sending this book to me off my Amazon wishlist. Like, I really appreciate it because Matt Haig is like one of my favorite authors, and this is a book that I'm just very excited to read because I love all of his stuff. I feel like Matt Haig is one of those authors that just has like such a beautiful way with words, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'm also going to be reading Daydream by Hannah Grace for that vlog, which, like, yes, technically speaking, this is the 3rd book in a series. I DNF'd the 1st book in this series, and then I did not even attempt to read the 2nd book, but this one in particular is one that I'm very intrigued by because I feel like the characters will be a little bit more relatable to me than her other books because this girl is like a very bookish, nerdy kind of girl, and then I love that he's the captain of his hockey team, and I've heard really great things about this one in particular. Like, I haven't heard the best of things about her other books, to be honest, but then this one, everybody seems to be loving this one, so I'm gonna be reading this one in that vlog. I'm also gonna be reading The Last One at the Wedding because this is a book that I'm so excited to read. I just picked up this copy when I was in Chicago, and this is one that I'm dying to read because it's the author of Hidden Pictures, which is a thriller kind of horror book that came out a couple years ago that I really enjoyed. I know this is such a shallow thing to say, but I'm obsessed with this cover. Like, it is just beautiful, stunning. I would also like to get around to reading the new Leanne Moriarty, Here One Moment, because this is one that really intrigues me because the premise is about these characters who like board an airplane and then they find out when they're on this flight what age they're gonna die and how they're gonna die. I really love stories like this. Even though this book is about 500 pages, like, it's definitely a long one, but I'm just so intrigued and fascinated by this idea. Like, I have to know. I really think this is gonna be something that I will vibe with, so I'm excited about that. And then in the month of November, I'm really excited because I'm gonna be doing another round of reading your favorite books of this year. I made a video like this last November and it ended up being one of my favorite videos that I've ever made on my channel, and I found so many great books. And so recently, if you missed it, over on my Instagram stories and on my YouTube, community post, I asked, what are your favorite books of the year? And I got a ton of different recommendations, and like, oh my gosh, there were like 2 or 3 books that were mentioned so many flippin' times that I was like, okay, like, I have to, like, these have to be in the video. So for that video, I think I'm going to be reading 4 books total, and then I am going to be reading a 5th book for like an extended version of the vlog just for my Patreon. But 2 of the books that I will be reading for that video that I'll let you know about now, one of them is Blue Sisters. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe the amount of times that this book got mentioned, and I'm so excited that it did because this is honestly like one of my most anticipated books of the year. Like, I was really hoping that this one would be on a lot of people's favorites of the year. This is a literary fiction book that's about these sisters, and that's all I really need to know. I love stories like this. Like, I literally eat this shit up. So I can't wait for that one. And then another book that I'm going to be reading, and this one was probably the most recommended book out of anything, is going to be Knock Knock Open Wide. This is a folk horror book, if I'm correct. I think this one just published like this year or last year. And this is one that I was only familiar with because I think Kayla just read it earlier this year for a reading vlog, and ever since she read it, I've been hearing a lot more about it. Knew I had to pick it up for my library and include it in this video, so I'm very excited to be reading this one very soon. And then lastly, the last, like, reading vlog or thing that I have planned that I want to be doing in November is another round of like my backlist bonanza vlogs where I like read books off of my backlist. But this time I kind of want to do a different spin on it, because I'm trying to make these episodes like more interesting or more fun. I've done a few different variations of these episodes now. Like, I had the spin the wheel, like, choose books for me to read. I also did like I can't stop reading until I find a 5-star kind of version of the episodes. And now for this round, I think I want to do like an Instagram controls my TBR for the week. And so basically the idea is that I'm gonna like go on my Instagram stories and be like, here are the 3 backlist books for you to choose from, and then based off of the poll on Instagram, whatever you choose on my Instagram will be the book that I'll read, and then I'll just do that like 3 or 4 times until I've read 3 or 4 books for the vlog, and then that'll be the vlog. So if you'd like to, you know, have some control over my reading week with which backlist books I'll be reading for that vlog, then definitely make sure to follow me on Instagram because that's all going to be happening over there. But yeah, that is a wrap on my November TBR. It is a very exciting month. I have so many reading plans that I'm really looking forward to this month and so many anticipated releases. I'm also just so excited for Winterween, and you'll have to let me know if you're planning to participate in Winterween. Winterween is a readathon that I just genuinely really look forward to every time that I host it, and I love kicking off the new year with a fun little spooky readathon, you know, like it's a great time. Thank you so much for watching as always. You'll have to let me know what are you planning to read in the month of November. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!